and thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. Today we're back with another quick edition of IDP. We'll be talking about some new music in the shape of indie rock, post-punk, post-rock, and some indie pop as well. Doesn't it seem like if you drive on the left side of the road that you should also like enter the door on the left, for instance, or like if you're going to take the escalator, you would take the escalator up on the left and then down on the left. Am I wrong there? I think that the light situation I'm dealing with here today is worse than usual, but I'm going to try to make it work somehow, some way. I was a little bit sick the last few days, but I think we're okay now. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. First up, this is the debut studio LP. They actually had some soundtracks, so not counting soundtracks. This is the debut studio LP for a duo that is called Memorials. I think that's all caps, Memorials. And the name of the album is called Memorial Waterslides. So Memorials is Verity Sussman, formerly of Electra Lane, I think if I'm saying that right, Electra Lane? Yeah. And then Matthew Sims, who was, I think he's currently in and was and currently is in It Hugs Back. It's also the recent guitarist for the band Wire, and also the band Fitted, which has Graham Lewis of Wire and also Mike Watt. I would say this is a very wild kind of set of songs. It opens with a track that is almost like Broadcast, like the band Broadcast-esque. And then it goes to the next song, which is almost a cross between Broadcast and maybe some like Beach House. But later on in the album and throughout the album, it takes wild turns all over the place. So it gets a lot more, I'm going to say it gets somewhat experimental. I know people have qualms with what is considered experimental, but experimental in the form of a pop album you could consider this. There's nods to bands like Tortoise, there's free jazz influence, old soundtrack music or library music, 60s psych rock and folk. So this has some really terrific pop songs, I guess or art pop songs, but then takes, like I say, many sharp turns. So taken as an album, I think it might be not super palatable for a lot of folks. So I would say this is definitely a try before you buy type scenario, because like, for instance, the clips that I will try to include here on this video, like the couple clips I'll try and include, are really not representative of the album as a whole. I mean, these short clips that I include aren't really even representative of the song as a whole. But in this case, it's probably even more, I guess I'm just trying to say don't buy based on the 40 seconds that you're going to hear here. Find a way to sample the album is what I would say. Anyway, it may not work for everyone. It works for me. I think it's really one that is kind of, at first can be a little bit jarring, but ultimately wound up working for me. Again, the name of the band or group duo is called Memorials in all caps. And the name of the album is called Memorial Waterslides, and it's out now on Fire Records.
What is lost when everything slides and the lights go off? I want to be the one still dancing when the lights come on, or at home with a cup of tea watching a documentary of a Fanny Burney. dimension in geography.
All right, up now we've got the fourth studio LP for a band out of Bristol, UK group. Not to be confused with the many other bands that go by the same name. They're called Spectres, Spectres, and their new album is called, I think it's AM-DRAM, or it's either AM-DRAM or AM-DRAM. Yeah, I think there's even some recent other bands called Spectres, so it's really easy if you look this up to wind up on one of the other bands, or you'll wind up on the Blue Oyster Cult, album, which is also, that's not this. This is indie rock in the post-punk, post-rock, noise rock vein. I think that an obvious influence is Sonic Youth, I would say, which definitely comes to mind at points throughout the album. Also possibly, let's say, early Deer Hunter. And there's also even hints of Radiohead vibes, just a smidge in spots. It's pretty dark, I would say, throughout. So it is a kind of dark tone throughout. I wouldn't say it ever hits too hard, but it hits. Lots of feedback, lots of distortion. There is possibly some language that would get you in trouble with the nuns. They might take the yardstick out, but not too much bad language. It's just that those nuns are a little bit sensitive. Anyway, again, we're checking out. This is, again, the band is called Spectres. The album is called AM-DRAM or AM-DRAM, band out of Bristol, and this is out on Howling Owl Records.
If it looks like it and it feels like it, then it's probably not it. But there's nothing else to hold on to but your own fingertips. What you say, 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 what you say. I don't wanna believe what you say, what you say, what you say.
All right, this is the fourth full-length studio release for the Los Angeles duo called Pearl and the Oysters, and the name of the album is Planet Pearl. Yeah, Pearl and the Oysters is Joachim, I'm probably saying his name wrong, Joachim Pollock and Juliet Pearl Davis. This is the follow-up to last year's LP called Coast to Coast. And I would say this album really just continues or picks up right where that last album left off. Yeah, think Stereolab meets the Beach Boys meets yacht rock, plus a lot of like global groove, like particularly Brazilian music. It does get maybe a little more jazzy than the last release. This album is apparently some sort of a concept album about, I don't know if it's meant to be an alien or somebody, I take it, an alien, somebody that from another planet that is traveling and trapped on the planet Earth, I think is what's going on. It's maybe a little bit over my head. It's very smooth, very catchy indie pop. I don't know that I like this one as much as I kind of came to like the last album, Coast to Coast. But again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely worth a look. Artist is called Pearl and the Oysters, and the album is Planet Pearl.
It's easy, don't you see? It's easy,
This one is a quartet from France. I believe this is their debut LP. But, you know, I'm not really sure. I think I did some research. It's not super easy, or it wasn't super easy for me to figure out, but I believe all 4 members that are in this band were in the band called Von Pariahs, which had other members as well that aren't in this band. This band's called Swirls, which is also not easy to find. It's not search engine optimized, let's say. And the name of the album is Top of the Line. So, like I say, quartet from France. So they are French, but I am pretty sure that all the vocals are in English. If all of the vocals aren't in English, almost all the vocals are in English. I would say this is just like post-punk / noise rock / indie rock. Has a lot of shades of, let's say, the Strokes, maybe a little bit of someone like Parquet Courts, and then even say like early Fontaine's DC. It's not too far off of that. Probably just as a result of the French accent and maybe the English possibly being the lead singer's second language. I think that the vocal style, like you hear that through the vocal style, and so I think that might not work for everyone, but it is the vocal style, or the vocals on this, I think really grew on me. I think the songwriting is strong. I think that, you know, it's just kind of a good time. It's kind of a good time. It's just kind of a good time post-punk type record, catchy tunes. This is more accessible, I'd say, maybe than you might think off the description. Anyway, once again, from France, the band is called Swirls, and the name of the album is called Top of the Line. This one is out on Howlin Banana and another label, Tant, Rêver du Rêve. I'm saying that totally wrong, but it'll be in the description box below. Always, all the details of the albums that I speak about are in the description box below the video. I don't know if you knew this, but YouTube has added a description box to every video. So if you go to the description box, in there is additional information. And on my videos, I tend to put all of the albums I talk about. So if you're not catching them in the video, you can just quickly go in there and see name of the band, name of the album, label, etc. Flawless soldier, flawless soldier.